we have with us Mrs. Priye George, our guest for today. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
On your right is the
I'm the gangster.
The bright and lovely one at that.
Very nice.
and opposite you, the captain without an aircraft that just
Who's
walked
not going to
in.
be speaking today?
I
So
don't
just
understand,
relax.
Sister Priye.
No,
It's Captain
it
Tony.
isn't me.
Captain Tony.
Okay, it's a pleasure.
And of course, I'm Auntie Olu.
Ah, lovely.
You're most welcome to the
Thank you
program.
very much.
The program is about single parent. As the name implies, the travails of a single parent.
Yes.
These are particular people, but abandoned, forgotten, not in the consciousness of people. Nobody talks about them, but they are there licking their wounds, barely existing in some cases, and the society forgets them. They are not reckoned with, not to be reckoned with. But we want to look at their peculiarity and see how we can help. Help may not come in form of dishing out money, like we see in some of these programs and all over the place. It could be emotional help. Some people feel rejected, abandoned. We could bring them out of that shell, that you are loved. If nobody cares, we care. The gang of three cares. So that is all it is, really. But we want to know, we bring people, part of sharing their pains with them. We are saying enough is enough, we care. This gang of three cares. We'll hear your story. Your story may comfort somebody out there. Your story may be a solution to somebody's problem out there. And they will feel better. That is all it is.
So
And,
what is your story?
Well, I didn't really introduce her fully.
Okay.
She is one of our, I think, Nollywood star,
Well,
a voiceover artist, a presenter, and an actress. She's a single parent with 2 children, divorced. You are most welcome.
thank you very much once again. Thank you, the gang of 3, Auntie Olu, Captain, and Dion. Auntie Olu, I'm so sorry. It's for giving me this opportunity and the privilege to be able to share my experience, part of it, because there won't be enough time to do that. And to the journey, the adventure, because that's how I see it. It is really an adventure. Life itself is an adventure. Like you rightly said, I'm divorced. I was separated for 2 years. You have to have like 2 years before you now get divorced eventually. I was married for like 14 years and then now got separated 2 years and then now got divorced. I think about 5 years now. My ex-husband is remarried. Now, this is how it goes.
Uncanny, exact same circumstances. Carry on.
And you see, what I want people, hopefully, to get from my own story is hope. There's hope. Once hope is there, you can overcome whatever it is comes your way. Be you single, be you married, because there are lots of married people who are single.
Of course.
In their marriage, because I was that way for a lot of years. In my marriage, I was single in that marriage, and that is worse. Okay, now, in this part of the world, in Nigeria, let me use my own country. I don't know what happens in other parts of Africa. They feel once you're single, you're divorced, even widowed, you are an outcast. But it doesn't have to be like that. And the reason why it shouldn't have to be like that, it has to start with the person involved. Once they stop seeing themselves as a victim, I had to stop seeing myself as a victim. And the day I stopped seeing myself as a victim was the day I decided to live my marriage. When I met my ex-husband then, let me just give you a brief background. Try to. I love and all that, you know, and everything. But you see, where I'm getting at is the family plays an important role. Your family background is key. And I'm fortunate to have the best family, if I may use that word, the best siblings you can ever hope for. This is why I say this, because I fought with my siblings because of the husband I married then. No man is an island. They could see, you know, you wouldn't be objective when you're in that relationship. Oh, he's the man. Oh, there's nobody else. But they could see, they could look objectively and say, why don't you hold on? And wait, even his mother, because then I used to think my mother-in-law was an ogre. But now, when I look back, I see the wisdom in her. Why don't you wait, hold on? Ah, then we started having kids. Oh, it was a roller coaster. So like your family, they will see objectively, but you can't. He's my husband, he's the one I want to marry, and then, okay, then we get married. And then the baby started coming. The first one, I lost that one, then I had a boy, and then I had a girl. And then I started seeing the depression now sets in because you're already feeling left out in a union, which is worse. Depression sets in, start feeling bad. And then when I turned 40, I now sat down and said, okay, this is the problem I have. I accept it because I was thinking of the society. What would they say? If I leave now, I go to church, I'm a Christian, I live now with 2 kids. Because prior to that time, I had been leaving, coming back, leave, come. People say, you go, come back now, waiting. Shebi, you go, come back. And truly, I will leave and come back. Hey, what will society say? I'm divorced, I'm separated, hey, blah, blah, blah. But I never thought of what am I feeling? What's happening with me?
What will happen to me?
Yes, or even what's happening with me.
Okay, yeah.
I never took that into consideration until...
third-party consideration.
Exactly. Until I turned 40. That was the milestone. And then my 11-year-old son now asked me, Mommy, because you have to think of the children as well.
Oh, yes. Mm.
They have a role to play. They are important. But the thing is, we want to live their lives for them. It's not done. God didn't say you should do that. And my son now asked me one day, because I never knew they used to hear me cry every night. Their father wasn't there. But I had a role to play too. The man was miserable. You understand? I was making his life miserable. He was making mine more miserable. And then, Mommy, why are you crying now? What use are you here in this house? And it was because of them I was still staying. So I now made up my mind and I asked for courage, because that's what a lot of people are lacking. Courage to be able to quiet all those voices saying, this is what society expects from you. This is what your family expects from you. This is, you know, all the labels. Oh, you will now be a divorcee. Irresponsible woman. You now live and be following me, because that's the Nigerian mentality. And then I now left. Of course, I got war, because his ego. How could you be the one to leave? I'm not the one that threw you out. Because that's the Nigerian factor too. And I said, it's for your own good. And I didn't live with my kids initially, because that's the thing, the attachment to the children. If you want to be a single parent, whichever way, you have to be able to appreciate your own singleness before you can now be of use to them. Your wholeness as a single person, then you'll now be of use to them. And that one happens when you erase all bitterness, because you will be bitter initially. You can't run away from that. You'll be extremely bitter. And I was angry. I said, I wasted all this time. 14 years for what? But then when I look at those children, I say, I didn't waste time. What if I didn't have kids? Is it in my 40s I will now start having children, looking for children? Fortunately, I have kids. They say, count your blessings and name them one by one. And I said, okay, fine. Then the children came to join me 3 months later, because he couldn't cope. He gave them to his mother. And I went back and I told him, the marriage is between me and you, not between you, me and your mother. the kids, either they're with you or not. And I got my children back, and since then, roller coaster, squatting with friends, you know.
You?
Me, yeah, squatting with friends, and him telling me, you will come back, you will get tired and you will come back. I said, I'm not trying to prove a point. That's one thing I must get across to you. You're not trying to prove a point by leaving. You're trying to survive for yourself and for your children. You see, when people get separated, I find that it's human, not even just in Nigeria, everywhere. The women go, he made my life hell. You don't want to take responsibility. It takes two. It was until I got to that realization that it takes two. Because apparently he made a mistake, according to him.
With what?
Marrying me.
Oh, so he discovers that 14 years later?
Actually, maybe a little bit earlier than that. You understand?
He said he made a mistake.
Yes, you were not the person I was supposed to marry. 2 kids after her. So I now deduce that, guy, I'm making your life miserable. And in me making your life miserable, you are making my life a living hell. Because he can only give what he has. You understand? So I took responsibility for it. Because
for what you were getting from him.
Exactly. Because if I had said that I was a victim, I would not have found a solution. If I had remained a victim, him. That's it. And that is the key.
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Now,
prayer will continue after the break. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is still The Travails of a Single Parent with Auntie Olu. Priye?
Yes, Auntie Olu.
Continue your story.
All right, thank you. Like I said, and you also said, forgiveness is key. Now, when I eventually decided to part ways, and I did, though I didn't have a good relationship with his mom, you know, and everything, and his family, because they felt you guys were wrongly matched. But I realized that much, much later, with all the fights and everything. And then I now left with my children, not with them initially, and then they came to join me. It wasn't easy. I squatted in a friend's house in Ikoyi 7 months, then had to live there, stayed in a hotel for 3 months, and from there went to squat in a cousin's place a month, and then now finally got where I stay. The stigma, because people feel now you're available. Every man thinks. But you see, you have to know what you want. It's focus. This is what I want. You want to be a legacy, leave a legacy for your children because they're your responsibility.
Yes, indeed.
They are yours. Whether the man is providing or not is a privilege to be a parent. That's how I see it. Whether he's providing or not. Unfortunately for me, when I just left, I was getting jobs because I'm an artist. You know, sometimes you won't get jobs at all. And then there was a time, I remember my daughter, oh, so beautiful. My daughter, she was in primary school, Kekoto then, and she's the best in her class. Actually, they have about 3 arms of that class. She's the best. She tops the class. And the owner of the school was saying, I wish I could just exempt this. But you've not paid the school fees. The accountant felt bad having to let her sit out. They actually set the exam for her. Immediately I was able to get the money. We went to school, they sent us back.
They couldn't give her scholarship.
Well, things happen for a reason. I know everything happens for a reason. So I went to school, the ma said, you have to go back. She can't sit for exams. I got back home that day, I cried. I said, God, is it because I left this man's house that this is happening or what? I cannot provide for this child. I wailed. I said, I'm tired. I can't. In fact, come, let me take you people back to your father.
Sorry, when you were with him, was he paying school fees, maintaining them and all?
Yes, he was. In all fairness to him, yes. Okay. But we were both doing it together. It was partnership together. So, in all fairness, he was.
But as soon as you left, he didn't feel the need to continue?
He was angry.
That you left?
Yes, he was angry.
But was he angry with the children?
Well, his anger at me extended to the children.
So they won't eat because he's angry.
No, it happens. It's a human angle.
What happened when you cried to God?
Yeah, and I wept. The house we actually moved into, let me describe the furniture for you. The wrapper, we used wrapper to do window cover so that people can't be seen into the house. Then because I barely had money to buy the mattress. The hotel, they kicked us out because we couldn't pay 20,000 naira, whatever, I don't know how much, I can't remember, Kilo Hotel, how much we paid then. And then we used to, oh, it's an interesting story. We used to buy Indomie every time and suya. When I'm coming back from work, they will stay with me, then we buy Indomie and suya because we couldn't cook in the hotel. And the house, we had a stool, and when we sat down, we didn't have light. We didn't have a gen. When we moved in, there wasn't light, but at least we had the roof over our head. It is our own house. Yeah. I remember we squatted with my cousin in Isolo. We were coming back one time. There was an accident, but we were saved from that. God saved us from that accident. Those are all the things that happen. But you see, that is what doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. And I'm glad it happened because my children were used to being chauffeur-driven to school. They learned how to enter bus.
They learned how to be ajekpako, or how do you say it? Ajebota and ajekpako.
And they adjusted. Everything about life is adjusting.
But they say most children are actually they find it easier to adjust. They're better than adults. Anyway,
yeah, they are better than adults, but it depends on the adult who is
piloting them.
Exactly.
If you are stuck up, they will sink.
Exactly. So it depends on the adult. Fortunately for me, God gave me the grace and the wisdom to be able to tell them, look, this is how it is, or this is where we are now. If you have a choice, your father is well-to-do. Right now, I'm having issues with work. I wasn't getting work. Funny enough, I don't know why. I just wasn't getting work that period, And I told them, it's a choice. You want to go back to your dad? And they said, no. I said, why? He's your father. He loves you. They said, no. He will take us to grandma, and we don't want to stay with grandma. I said, okay, fine. And we just kept on like that. We kept on like that. We kept on like that. And it just evolved. A friend came and said, we didn't have TV. It was rechargeable lamp. We used to listen to radio. My sister called one day and said, what? I said, we are listening to radio. There's no light. Say, you don't have TV. I said, what? Is it TV land something? Is it TV we are talking? He said, no. That's how she and her children, they gathered money. They sent a TV to us. Then a friend of mine came and said, what did happen, Priye? Nothing. Just stay inside darkness. Everybody. I said, bros, and now food money I didn't for now, not be money
of generator.
The next thing he buys a gen and brings it. That's what I'm saying. It's hope. There's hope. And I never knew how to ask people for things. And it's now I'm learning. My friend now told me it's pride. You're proud. Because of where I was coming from. Because my former husband, you're asking for something. So I felt maybe there's a problem with asking. But like I'm saying, it depends on the person. If you stop seeing yourself as a victim. I went through all those things, me and my children, and we're the better for it today. Divorce doesn't mean the end of the world.
We'll go on a break, and when we come back, we'll continue. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is still The Travails of a Single Parent with Auntie Olu and the gang. With us here today is Priye George. Priye, you have spoken well, and your case is a deviation from the norm that we know in society. You are a woman of wisdom, and I believe you are a Christian from everything you have said. You recognize, these are some of the things we've been emphasizing on this program. Forgiveness, looking inward. If you don't look at yourself and feel, look, I may have made a contribution to what is happening to me, there is no way you forgive. If you keep playing the victim, you can never let go. You can't forgive. But if you look at yourself and say, well, this man is like this, maybe I'm doing something that is, causing all these things. And in your case, you said, oh, sorry, you made a mistake. Maybe
because he told you that.
by allowing you to marry me, you married the wrong person. I am sorry. I am sorry to have even continued in this relationship with you. And before you left, you still went to beg. After
why you going to tell I'm sorry, say you be the wrong person?
No, but if a man says, I married the wrong woman,
so I will tell I'm sorry,
it is
for the mistake when he make.
No, it is wisdom beyond comprehension. It is wisdom on her part beyond comprehension.
You lost me on that one, but we're going to carry on.
You see?
Yeah.
For me, I've listened to your story and I'm asking myself, okay, you've gone through a lot of travails. You've explained how God has helped you to come out of many of them. Are you going to marry again, or you have said no to relationships?
If I say no to relationships, then I'm not wise. I have a very open mind to that. But my children, they come first. God first. This is how in this order. God, me, my kids. If you're going to have a relationship with me, then you have to,
love my dog.
Is me.
Love me, I love my dog.
Boma, that is me. I've had offers, and I explained to them, I say, if my children, actually 2 years ago, a guy in America, my friend, my elder brother introduced me and said, this guy, I want you guys, I say, across DC. I said, okay, have an open mind. My daughter said, Mommy, have an open mind. I said, okay. She's my BFF. I said, okay, fine, I will have an open mind.
What's BFF?
Best
my
friend
best for life.
Okay.
And I said, okay, fine. And then we go. The next thing, I say, I said, this thing no go work. I can't handle it. We're making plans and everything, marriage and everything. I looked, I said, no, there's too much drama in this. You guys, if you don't accept this, it's not going to work. And they too looked at it and said, Mommy, this man no fine rich. That was just it. He's not fine enough. And we don't think he's the one for you. And my son hardly talks, but he's the Oga. That's what I call him. He's the Oga in the house. He's the man of the house. I said, it's because of you, what you said. I had the courage to leave your father.
This man not fine enough, and full stop.
I'll not do it again. Because my family told me then, because you have to listen to your family too. They will be objective. Said, this praise man when you want to marry, so you should say nine. Cool down. Hold body first. No. I didn't, but they took me back. That's the thing. I'm so fortunate. They took me back. The prodigal son, because that was what I was. I was a terror to my family. They took me back and folded me. Cocooned me with. I will not. So I will watch carefully. I'm almost 50, but I'm not in a race because you have to be content. I am content, and you have to love you. I didn't love myself when I was married to my husband, my ex-husband. I was living in his shadow. He told me, "Say stop living in my shadow. Find your own person." Yes, he told me. No, he's a motivational speaker. No, but he was saying truths. But I didn't. I was seeing it.
Were you besotted?
Yes, that's the word. I worshipped the ground he walked on.
Really?
That's how much. And God says, I will not share you with anybody. A lie.
Well,
so
prayer.
That's it.
We've heard you. And I hope our viewers out there would have taken something with them. One, you must forgive.
Oh, yes. It's vital.
Secondly, you must stop being a victim. That is the only way you can move forward. I think that is enough for.
And they must love themselves enough.
You must love yourselves. That is for the divorcees now.
Yes.
No, for the married ones.
Every human being.
No, wait.
If you don't love yourself, you don't know how to love another person.
The three things:
you can't
forgive,
give what you don't have.
love yourself, and what again?
Just let go. Stop being a victim.
Stop being a victim.
Yes.
I think these three things are important. Priya, I must thank you for being on the program.
Thank you for having me.
And viewers out there, I believe you've heard from her firsthand You must stop playing the victim. It's very important in the healing process. And you must learn to forgive. And lastly, learn to be yourself, love yourself. And with this, we'll say bye-bye for now.